Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Tallybook Troubleshooting. Tallybook Troubleshooting brought to you by Arc Energy. We process your energy. Really excited to have the guy beside me today. You might recognize him, and if you don't, you need to go check out Fossil Fuel Fridays, the hashtag. Standing beside me actually, is Mr. Ken Lavin with Mertz Manufacturing. Did I get it right that time?
You got it right. That's perfect. And on Fossil Fuel Fridays, don't forget Matthew Hill. So awesome. Check his
I was getting to Matthew Hill. I know he'll be giving me shit for we're not saying, but great show. I enjoy it all the time. Thanks for coming on today.
And thank you for all you do as well. Thank you, guys.
Oh, well, we're a whole bunch of thanking going on right now. Doing this little show, a little bit of positivity, shooting it out there for the oil field. And today we have a little bit of a really good troubleshooting story in my opinion. Some of the stories we've had, I've been very shocked at where they've come from and where they've gone. But today's episode, well, I'll throw it to you, Ken. What was the problem? What were you trying to accomplish?
Okay, perfect. So I have to give a little bit of a shout out, or actually a big shout out, because I actually partnered with a guy to do this, and I'll tell about him here shortly. So my past history, actually, when I started in the oil field, was coil tubing. So actually I was a coil tubing operator, supervisor, district manager, and we were doing a well. This is back when I was really just gotten started in the field, and we were trying to wash through a sand bridge and was trying to get down. But when we got down, we also wanted to be able to try and shut in the backside, squeeze the well, and actually put acid.
So this was a coil tubing job. You were going, you needed to clean out, and then you wanted to squeeze.
And then wanted to squeeze and put acid on across the perforations and really clean them out. And we didn't want to have to do multiple runs. We didn't want to have to charge the customer, extra runs and whatever. And so
what's the challenge there for anybody who's not too familiar with coil? What is the different nozzles, what's their objective?
So a lot of times with coil tubing, back then we didn't have like a lot of options like what you see with different vendors now that have, they have the different shutoffs, they have the different, sliding sleeves, they have all these different really awesome tools. And so coil is kind of like this, it's like a workover rig, but instead of having to put your joints pipe together, you can actually have one continuous string of pipe. And so you can run in and out a hole a lot quicker and faster.
So, and when you're cleaning, you're shooting
straight down. And so the nozzles back then only shot, we only had either shoot outside or it just shoot straight down. And so that's why you're always having to make multiple runs. And so I was sitting there and I said, well, why don't we take and make a nozzle that's just a center with a really big hole in the center, and that it would shoot straight down, that we could get a lot of that force and that pressure to actually break up the sand bridge and the plugs. And then once we got down to bottom, then we could take like a steel ball bearing, and we could pump that through the coil, and then it would seat inside that little nipple. And then once it's seated, then it would convert, and then we'd have little holes on the top section, and then it would convert and make it, or divert the fluid and actually make it go out the sides. And then we could be able to jet across those perfs and clean it up really well. And the tool hand guy that was with me, he said, that's a great idea. And he said, I'll be right back. And so he literally went to the shop that night, that day, and went and machined it out at their shop and machined up this little nozzle. And we put it on the end of our tool and we went down, and sure enough, we were able to go through the sand bridge, clean out, shut in the backside, pump acid, come up and clean up those perforations, and then boom, we were out.
Sounds, a lot of these stories I get, it sounds like, oh, duh, yeah, that's what we do all the time now, but somebody had to come up with the idea and do it one of the first times. So to me, that's amazing. I figured that's where the story was going when you were saying, man, why doesn't the nozzle, why don't you just pump a ball down? But I guess,
Well, I'll say the name of the guy. The guy's name was Billy Carney. So a big shout out to Billy Carney. All the late nights in the cab of a coal cabin, all the hours of the night. So thank you, Billy, for coming up and helping with that design and everything. And I think now you guys use it all the time.
I only know enough about coil to be dangerous. But yeah, it's definitely the way coil has evolved, and that's a standard practice today. Well, Ken, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Once again, shout out to Matt Hill. And you guys got anything exciting coming up on Fossil Fuel Fridays?
We have a lot of things coming up. Make sure to watch, stay posted. We've got more coming up, and I'll even bring it up. It hasn't even been brought up yet.
Uh-oh, an announcement?
It's an announcement. So, being with Mertz Manufacturing, I'm going to do a show, and I'm thinking about naming it A Minute with Mertz, and actually show, one, some of the technologies that we actually do, and then two, some of the inventions that we've actually done in the past that a lot of people have no idea that in Ponca City, Oklahoma, the amazing manufacturing things that we've done.
It's amazing what the oil field, the history, a lot of this show was to demonstrate that the oil field is not just filled with dumb rednecks. It's some pretty, intelligent, the ingenuity that's demonstrated. It can, spans all across a lot of different, manufacturing, agriculture, you name it. Right?
Absolutely.
And man, also, if you don't notice, kind of really nice part of a hotel lobby, the Marriott here in Odessa.
Mm-hmm.
I will also be coming from the museum again. We just didn't have time today. We had just finished a great lunch.
Oh, it's amazing.
Amazing Mexican seafood restaurant. If you're curious, message me about it, and I'll let you know. There's lots of great things to see in Odessa as well. So, till next time, that's how you troubleshoot.